It's also important for Hong Kong people to know the importance of this, but there are also some concerns that the opposition parties will be wiped out from the Legislative Council, or at least reduced to a minority group. What's your response to such concerns?
This whole objective and arrangement to improve the electoral system is about ensuring only patriots will have the chance to administer Hong Kong. It is not about sort of eradicating the chances of individuals who have a certain political position. For example, they don't like socialism, or they prefer capitalism, or they want more democracy or less democracy, or they are anti-government or pro-government. It's not about that. It's really about whether that particular individual could fulfill the standards of being a patriot. And a patriot could be very well defined. It's not defined now. It has been defined over 30 years ago by the late Mr. Deng Xiaoping. In 1984, that is, the requirements are very simple, straightforward, reasonable, and fundamental. One is you have to respect and love your country and the people, right? Secondly is you have to support and truly believe that it is good for the People's Republic of China, that is for the country to resume exercising sovereignty over the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region. And third is to support and help to safeguard the long-term prosperity and stability of Hong Kong. These are not very demanding standards. So if people could meet that standards, I'm sure they could be qualified, and then it is for them to sort of tell people what sort of manifesto they have, and then they could go on to the Legislative Council. But of course, it needs to be another safeguard, and that is if people manage to get into the Legislative Council after all this vetting and qualification, but if they have any behaviors thereafter, that is when they have become a member of a Legislative Council, there should still be a mechanism to prevent them from continuing to govern the Hong Kong SAR. And that is something that we are going to put in place in local legislation. That doesn't require the National People's Congress Standing Committee to make another decision, because in 2016, MPCSC has actually made an interpretation on the actual meaning of Article 104 about declaration and oath-taking. And that we are going to put into the local legislation, that what will be the legal consequence of bridging the oath while you are in office. So that is something that the Legislative Council will shortly discuss.